Welcome, of course, to Tales from Nerd. Of course, I'm your host, Random Nerd 2016. Welcome back to the show, the weekly show where I talk about the books that are being released this week. And this week, we're going to be talking about the books being released on May 12th. Of course, if you're Marvel and independent companies type of guy, your comics will be released on your regular Wednesday. For DC, it'll be on your Tuesday. There you go. I'm back. Okay, so before I go to the books of the week, I want to do this as quick as possible because it's very late. I need to do this because I don't need to do this, but I want to do this. I want to give shout outs to books I want to might pick up, but it all depends on if I want to pick them up on Wednesday. I'm giving a shout out to 4 books. Black Hat number 6. Put a picture over here. DC Festival of Heroes, the Asian Superhero Celebration number 1. The Silver Coin number 2, which I bought number 1. I'm just waiting for it to come. I bought all Black Cat issues. They should be coming pretty soon. And Time Before Time. So we got Marvel, DC, I believe, Image, and Image. These are all books I'm really interested in, but they are not making the cut because it'll be too long of an episode. Alright, made that preface. We're going to go to the first book of the week, which is by DC Comics, American Vampire 1976, number 8. Written by Scott Snyder, art and cover art by Raphael Albuquerque. Colors by Dave McCaig, lettered by Steve Wands, and the price of the book is $3.99. And of course, this is a description of the book. Cut to their core by an act unspeakable betrayal. The team must think fast to regroup and recover, but with 2 of their lives hanging by a thread and a 3rd taken captive to be sacrificed to the beast, hope and practical solutions are in short supply. As a demon army prepares to rise from the earth on the eve of America's bicentennial celebration, an old friend of the VMS steps in to assist, and Gus gets a chance to rewrite his grim fate. In the end, their efforts will all hinge on Skinner's Sweet's final decision to either retreat and preserve what's left of his limited life, or to face his fear of death and risk it all for Pearl and the future of humanity. So, I don't know how many parts of this book will be. I believe it's going to be 12 issues or 10, but we're getting near to that, finale. Of course, this is continuing on from Scott Snyder's American Vampire series from long ago. Haven't read it. I said, you know what? If I like this, I will, pick up the rest in trade. Might have to because it's really interesting. I want to get that world. But if you do want to jump on this, it's not a good jumping off point. Issue 1 would be a good jumping off point, or the very trade of American Vampire. Going to move on to the next book of the week, which is another DC book. We have Batman the Detective, number 2, written by Tom Taylor. Pencil, inker, cover art by Andy Kubert, inker by Sandra Hope, and colors cover art by Brad Anderson, and letter by Clem Robbins. The price of the book is $3.99. And before I go to the description of the book, it is a 6-issue miniseries, so this is only part 2, so we're about a third of the way done of the book. So, yeah. And this is the description, price $3.99, and this is a description of the book. Batman's European adventure continues as the mystery around the organization known as Equilibrium deepens. Just who are these enigmatic villains, and why are they out to erase the Dark Knight's legacy? And how does Henry Ducard play into all this? Can this face from Bruce Wayne's past be the key to it all? I finally read Batman Detective. It's an interesting premise. Love Tom Taylor. It's a really fun book. If you want to read Batman going to places and, being a little bit more older, trying to, do his thing, but, not trying to get hurt, it's a book for you. It's really interesting to read. Tom Taylor knows what he's doing. It's only 6 issues. It won't hurt your wallet too much. So it's a good jumping off point. But read issue 1. Next up, we got another DC book. We got Batman Urban Legends number 2, written by Brandon Thomas, Matthew Rosenberg, Chip Zdarsky, art by Eddie Burrows, Ryan Benjamin, Max Dunbar, and cover art by Klaus Johnson and John Romita Jr. The price of the book is $7.99, and this is the description of the book. The mystery around Cold Cash and Halo deepens as Batman takes a more active role investigating the man known as Grifter. But other villains in Gotham have begun to notice what Grifter is up to, and they're about to attempt an assassination. How can the unlikely team up between this dynamic duo last? The Outsiders epic reaches its end with the return of three iconic Outsiders. Black Lightning, Katana, and Metamorpho all reunited to face down Katana's mother-in-law. This finale would change the makeup of the Outsiders forever and set them on a new trajectory in the DC universe. Red Hood and Batman fight over what they should do with the child, who is now orphaned as a result of Red Hood's temper. While they place the child temporarily under the care of Leslie Tompkins, she debates if she's doing the right thing. Is she just looking after another Robin in training? So instead of getting the four-ish, what is it? One, two, three. Yeah, instead of getting like the four stories we've been getting the last few issues, we're just getting three. I believe this is like a 7-issue like anthology, so some stories will end in that numbering, and some will, have one shots or will be 3-parters, 5-parters. But what I love about this book is we get the Red Hood story with Chip Zdarsky, but lately I've been really getting into the Cole Cash, aka Grifter storyline, written by Matthew Rosenberg. The Outsider stuff is pretty interesting, but it's just like it's a give or take. I think I like the Outsiders part better in Future State, but that's just me. Is this a good jumping off point? No, because it has the other stories. Yes, but if you're trying to read that Red Hood story, you need to pick up issue 1. It is $7.99. It is a bit pricey, but if you have the money for it, pick it up. If not, read the trade. It will help you. It'll be a lot easier on you, and you can have the whole story collected. So there we go. Next up, we got Challenge of the Super Sons #2, written by Peter. Oh, it's a DC book. It's written by Peter J. Tomasi, art by George Corona, and also Max Raynor, and cover art by Simone Di Meo, who does the cover art, and the interior, I believe, for We See Them. Well, it's written by Al Ewing. Oh, We Only See Them When They're Dead, or something like that. It's a really cool book, but that's a book for another day. The price of the book is $3.99, and before I go to the description, it is a 7-part series. So, it's part 2. I love Super Sons, but yeah, it's really fun. I read the first issue today, so really excited. So, issue 2. Now to the description. Okay, Robin and Superboy saved the Flash from certain annihilation. Surely the day is saved, and everyone can go home and watch TV, right? Wrong! Once a doom scroll inscribes a name on its mystical list, the bearer of that name will be imminently killed, and the heroes of the Justice League are being targeted one by one. Next up, Wonder Woman. Plus, just what happened when the boys were snatched from reality, and how they first encountered the Doom Scroll in medieval England? Okay, Super Sons. So this is after the Adventures of the Super Sons book, which was the other miniseries, max series, that was 12 issues by Peter J. Tomasi. I don't know about this book, but I know about the book because I've been reading all his stuff. I just like Super Sons under Peter J. Tomasi. He gets the characters. We got a mini Superman and a mini Batman who is just a little bit too much like I'm too serious for my own making. But I love it. Read issue 1. It's a fun book. Just relax and enjoy the writing of Peter A. Tomasi. But we're gonna move on to the next book. But before that, of course, if you want to follow me on Instagram and Twitter, the links are down below, or at @RandomNerd2016. Or if you want to follow my friend who makes music, he's down there. He made music for podcasts. I still haven't located. I know where the file is. I'm very busy. Or if you want to know your comic book shop locator, it's always down in the description. And the information I get from the comics are in MidtownComics.com and LeagueOfComicGeeks.com. There's all the info. There's all the links. we're going to move on to the book, which is a Marvel book. We got Children of the Atom, #3, written by Vita Ayala, the head of X himself, Jonathan Hickman, art by Paco Medina, colors by David Curiel, letter by Travis Lanham, designer by Tom Mueller, cover art by Arby Silva and Jesus Abruzzo. The price of the book is $13.99, and of course, this is the description of the book. Origins revealed. Who are the X-Men sidekicks behind the masks? Meanwhile, a brand new alternate medicine is changing lives at school, but who's recruiting the victims? I mean, patients. Children of the Atom. I liked issue 1. Issue 2 was just a little bit step back, but I just like that mystery that we're getting. Like, are they mutants or just using things that are amplifying power? Like, are they using tech that makes powers, or are they using something to amplify powers that they already have? I don't know how many issues we're gonna get of this, but if you're really interested in this, I thought it was gonna be the Chimera stuff, but I'm guessing Jonathan Hickman's just like he's like, no one touched this. I'm making this, so don't worry about that. But I like it for the most part. It's really enjoyable. It's not like top tier X-Men stuff, but it's okay. But there you go. Jumping on point is issue 1. Next up, we got Fantastic Four #32 by Marvel Comics. It's written by Dan Slott, art by Arby Silva, colored by Jesus Abruzzo, letter by Joe Caramagna, designed by Carlos Lau, and cover art by Mark Brooks. The price of the book is $4.99, and of course, this is the description of the book. The Human Torch's love life is changed forever when he must choose between his soulmate and his ex-wife, and is Johnny Storm's first heartbreak. Crystal, back in the book. This is all too much. Fortunately, there's also a lot of punching, hitting, and clobbering going on. All this and an ominous decree by Doctor Doom, plus a second tale in which Reed Richards duels Doctor Doom for the strangest prize imaginable. So, a new it's a new storyline. Doom's getting married. Cool. So, how will that affect the Guardians of the Galaxy? That's just my question. But I'm excited because I think Dan Slott knows how to write Doctor Doom. I like the stuff what he's done with Doctor Doom. But yeah, if you said I haven't jumped on Fantastic Four in a while, I read the first, trade. I want to jump back in. This is it. This is it. All right, we're gonna move on to a DC book. We got Future State Gotham #1, written by Joshua Williamson and Dennis Culver, art by Giannis Milaniak, Giannis, and cover art by Jasmine Putri. And sorry if I butchered names. I can't pronounce them sometimes, so I'm only human. The price of the book is $3.99, and of course, this is the description of the book. The event that was DC Future State continues in its own ongoing title, starting the Bat family, beginning with the epic story Hunt the Batman. Disaster strikes Gotham City, and all evidence points to the next Batman. Red Hood must choose justice over his family and allies when the corrupt magistrate enlists him to bring in the new Batman, dead or alive. Featuring the entire cast from the popular Future State Batman titles, this new series kicks off the next chapter in this forbidding world of tomorrow, and does so in brilliant, monochromatic storytelling. This black and white series will showcase the brutal world that's around the corner in Future State Gotham. I like it because Joshua Williamson is attached to the book. I believe it's only going to be a few issues. I believe it's only 6. If not, it's going to be an ongoing. I don't know, but it's Red Hood. It's Red Hood. I've just been enjoying the stuff we've been getting in Red Hood by not James Tynion, but Chip Zdarsky. I don't know. I've been on a Red Hood thing. I've watched. I had to. I had to read. I rewatched Batman and the Red Hood. I'm like, I like Red Hood. So there's no Red Hood book, but we get this, and then we get the urban legends, and we're just yeah. So if you want a Jason Todd book, or just if you like Future State, this is your thing. I'm picking it up because Joshua Wilson is an amazing writer, and I just love his stuff. So if you want to jump on, there you go. Next book by Image, we got Geiger #2, it's created and written by Jeff Johns, and it has another creator and art and cover art by Gary Frank, colors and cover art by Brad Anderson, and lettered by Rob Lee, and designed by Steve Blackwell. The price is $3.99, and of course, this is a description of the book. They find out in the atomic wasteland, a relic from before the war. But what is it? A tool to bring hope back to humanity, or a weapon to finish what the bomb started? Depends on who gets it. The casino warlords of Las Vegas, or the man called Geiger. I read Geiger. I read Geiger. Holy crap. I didn't make that. Okay, here's the thing. I made the episode for the podcast. I worked crazy that when I got back, I couldn't edit it. I didn't upload it, and I recommend this book. Now, issue 1 sold out everywhere. I couldn't get an issue. I had the issue on my pull list, but I was like, my friend told me, like, hey, can you give me Geiger? I'm like, cool, see if they got extra copies. No, that thing was gone on the spot. But it's set in the future. It's this man, wasteland, future apocalyptic, Mad Max. Kind of like Mad Max, but with a guy who got crazy powers. Totally cool. Gary Frank. I think I don't know. You got a powerhouse team with Jeff Johns and Gary Frank. The book already sold itself. So if you want to jump on, see if you can get a copy of yourself of issue 1. I highly recommend it. It's really enjoyable. But if you could, get it. If you can't, eBay hunt. I did that to get the original printing because I got a different cover. I like original covers, but that's just me. I just like original coverings. I like cover A's. So there we go. But yeah, highly recommend you hunt down issue 1 and 2. But we're gonna move on to the next book, which is by Marvel Comics. We got Giant Size Amazing Spider-Man King's Ransom #1. It's written by Nick Spencer, pencil by Roger Antonio, colors by Alex Sinclair, lettered by Joe Caramagna, designer by Anthony Gambino, and cover art by Mark Bagley, Brian Reeder, and John Dell. The price of the book is $5.99, and of course, this is a description of the book. Everything comes down to this: Kingpin's quest that violates all natural law. Tombstone and Robbie Robertson's years-old enmity. Randy Robertson and Beetle's timeless love. Boomerang's scheme, Spider-Man's whole status quo. Okay, so this is ending the storyline of King Ransom. Now, we're still going to get effects for it, I believe, in issue 66. I think it's just like an epilogue, and issue, 67 is like the new storyline. Yep, Chameleon Conspiracy. So 67, if you've been reading Spider-Man, read issue, I believe, 60. That's like your best jumping on point to know what's going on. He gets a new suit and everything, and he's a live streamer apparently. But it's been a couple months. I mean, you could have read it, you read it, but I read it because I like these one shots because I'm like, all right, I'll pick it up. It's enjoyable. They're one shots. Cool. People will either pick them up or not, but I feel like this should have been added to the story. It's a little cheap getaway. Like, oh yeah, if you want to know what's going on, you need to read this one shot that not many people know about unless you read comics. So now you're jumping on point because it's a one shot of an ongoing series of another book. So it's not ongoing, it's just a one shot, but enough rambling. Next up, we got another Marvel book. We got Guardians of the Galaxy #14, written by Al Ewing, art by Juan Figueri, colors by Federico Blee, lettered by Corey Patek, cover art by Brett Booth, Guru Effects, and Delsa Corona. The price of the book is $3.99, and of course, this is a description of the book. A whole galaxy of trouble, as half the team defends the Kree-Skrull throne world against a deadlier threat than they've ever faced before. The other half investigates a terrifying sacrificial cult on a mysterious planet with the power to plunge the universe into war. Plus, a new space hero joins the team. No way. Okay, I finally read the issue 13 of Guardians of the Galaxy. I love the new team. I love the new perspective. The art is there. If you want to jump on Guardians of the Galaxy, this is literally Issue 13 is literally a perfect jumping off point. So if you want to read Guardians of the Galaxy, issue 13 I highly recommend, and issue 14 when you're there as well. Next up, we get another Marvel book. I believe the next two other books besides this one will be also Marvel. Uh, it's Heroes Reborn #2, written by Jason Aaron, art by Ed McGuinness, penciled by Dale Cohen, and inker by Scott Hanna, colors by Edgar Delgado, letter by Corey Patek, designer by Jay Bowen, cover art by Sonny Go and Lainil Francis Yu. The price of the book is $4.99, and of course, this is a description of the book. Make way for the adventures of Marvel's mightiest megastar, the all-powerful Hyperion. When America's solar-powered super centennial of liberty looks to return his arch-enemy Victor Von Doom to the other dimensional prison of the Negative Zone. Mighty Hyperion must deal with a breakout of his most powerful enemies, such as Ultron, General Annihilus, and the Immortal Hulk. Plus, a special backup tale starring Blade, Earth's last living vampire. I haven't read Heroes Reborn issue 1. I don't know how to feel about it because I haven't read it. It's an event book. It's taking over the Avengers book right now, so if you want to read this, you could. It's basically, what if the Avengers never existed? What if we got the Justice League, but the Marvel spin on it? So there you go. I believe it's only 5 issues. There's a couple one shots. I'm picking up all the one shots, and I'm like, these might be cool ideas that they might revisit. So will they all be good books? I don't know, but we'll see. Um, it's up to you. But if you do, read issue 1. Next up, another Marvel book. We got Heroes Reborn, Hyperion and the Imperial Guard #1, written by Ryan Caddy, penciled by Michele Bandini, art and colors by Stephen Byron, inker by is Elisabetta de Miko, colors by Eric Arciniega, and cover art by Laura Martin and Chris Sprouse and Carl Story. The price of the book, of course, is $4.99, and of course, this is the description of the book. The teenage Hyperion's cosmic quest with his Shi'ar friends near the end, but none of the young heroes are ready to say farewell. A quick mission in the Negative Zone sounds like the perfect coda to a storied fellowship. But what awaits Hyperion, Gladiator, and the rest is horror and agony beyond their wildest nightmares. Also included in this issue is a special preview of the new spin-off series, The Starjammers. Yeah, so if you are reading Heroes Reborn, you might want to pick this up. If not, skip it. It's a tie-in. It's only a one shot. Yeah. So if you're interested, pick it up. If not, you can be like, I'll just read the 5 issues and I'm all good. Because sometimes tie-ins really don't tie in unless the main writer is writing it. So that's usually my best estimate. But it's only up to you. Of course, another Marvel book. We got Heroes Reborn, Peter Parker, The Amazing Shutterbug #1. It's only a one shot. The writer is Mark Bernardin, pencil by Rafael De La Torre, ink by Scott Hanna, and cover art by Mike McCone. Yeah, the price of the book is $4.99, and of course, this is a description of the book. Peter Parker is the biggest Hyperion fan in the world, and he also just happens to be chummy with his favorite hero, thanks to a photography gig at the Daily Bugle. Surely nothing could go wrong with his camera and him in the heart of the action, right? I like this because they turned Peter Parker into the Jimmy Olsen for this event, and they turned Hyperion into the Superman, ideal. Again, this is one of those things where like I picked it up because of the premise. Tie-ins, I don't like tie-ins, but I usually do tend to pick them up because they're interesting ideas, or I'm like, I'll pick it up because you know what, it could be amalgam, maybe, I don't know. But again, jumping on point, yes or no. It's either give. I'll pick it up, but you don't have to. And let's see what this guy says this week. Now go. All right. Next up, we got Joker #3 by DC Comics. It's written by James Tynion IV, Sam Johns, art by Mirka Andolfo, and art and cover art by Gillian March. The price of the book is $5.99. Oh my god, the price point. The price, the $5.99, and this is a description of the book. The hunt for the Joker is underway as Jim Gordon heads to a remote part of South America to run down a lead and comes face to face with the calm prince of crime himself. Mystery on A-Day deepens, but not before another attack by the bloodthirsty Simpson family. And in this Punchline backup story, Punchline has a face off against the Queen of Spades' new muscle, Orca. At the same time, Bluebird's investigation at Punchline's alma mater takes a dark and horrifying turn. So what this book is, it's not about the Joker. It's Jim Gordon hunting down the Joker, and we get the side story of Punchline. Punchline was introduced in Joker War. If you didn't know, she's a character that was really popular in art, and I don't think. But James Tynion IV is creating a story for her. I'll say that much because I was about to say like she has no story at the moment besides what's going on here. She was in Batman, and then they kind of like you don't need to be in the Batman book anymore. You could be in the Joker book, but not in the Batman book, even though it's written by the same guy. It's just interesting. I did like the first issue. I haven't read the second issue just yet because I'm still freaking behind. But read the first issue. It's really cool. Man, we got a lot of books this week. We got like 25 books. I'm already at the. Ooh, okay, so we got the next book by DC Comics. We got Justice League Last Ride #1, written by Chip Zdarsky, art by Miguel Mendonca, and cover art by Derek Robertson. The price of the book is $3.99, and of course, this is a description of the book. Once the most powerful group in the world, the Justice League was destroyed by tragedy and time, disbanding under a veil of mistrust and anger. Now, on the eve of the universe's greatest murder trial, the League must come together one last time. But can Superman and Batman bury the past before the cosmos' greatest villains bury them? Learn the shocking truth in this new digital first adventure by writer Chip Zdarsky and art by Miguel Mendonca. So, again, Chip working for Marvel and DC now. Uh, I'm picking this up because of the writer, Chip Zdarsky. His stuff is just, I really enjoy his stuff, and I want to see him tackle the Justice League. So this will be a really interesting read. So if you want to pick up a Justice League book that you don't want to read, you can read this. I believe it's only like 6 or 7 issues. Might be wrong on that, but it's there. It's there. It's a good jumping off point though. So next up we got a book by Aftershock Comics. We got Maniac of New York #4, written by Elliot Kalan and art and cover art by Andrea Muti. The price of the book is $3.99, and of course this is a description of the book. Detective Zelda Pittibone and mayoral advisor / angel of vengeance Gina Green are on board the death train and determined to end Maniac Harry's rampage of terror once and for all. But what chance do two people have against an unkillable, mindless engine of death? And with Harry hot on the heels of the train's only survivors, will there be anyone left to save? Plus, a glimpse in Gina's early summer camp encounter with the Maniac. This book is awesome. This is Friday the 13th, but in comic book form. But what I like about the book even better is you see Harry's on the cover in every issue, but he's not in the book. He's the threat of the book. He's in the back of the mind of everything. But we get to see how everyone reacts, how everyone panics, how everyone like, he ain't real. And then he does pop up, and I just like the design. the writer and art, the writer Elliot Kalan and Andrea Moody, you two are doing a fantastic work, and if there's ever a sequel to this book, I will heavily enjoy it. But we don't know because I believe it's only 5 issues. I will check that out. I believe it's only 5 issues. But if not, if it's an ongoing series, you know what? It's really good. Pick up the first issue. It's really well done. Highly recommend. Next up, we got Boom Studios. We got Mighty Morphin #7, written by Ryan Perot, art by Marco Reyna, and cover art by In-Hyo Klee. The price of the book is $3.99, and of course, this is the description of the book. It's the new Mighty Morphin team versus the new Green Ranger, but whoever's left standing will have to deal with Lord Zed's shocking machinations and his even more surprising ally. Mighty Morphin. If you want to jump on this book, issue 5 is your jumping on point. So we got a new Green Ranger, new things. Where was I? Yeah. So I gotta read issue 6 to know what's going on. But what I like about this, I'm reading Power Rangers in comic book form. They could do so much with this, and every issue, I feel like they're gonna do something big with this. Besides having a new Ranger and a new Ranger and new Green Ranger and new identity. So I really can't wait for this. It's one of Boom's many books that I'm really excited for. So yeah, jumping on point is issue 5 or 6. 5 or 6, one of those. But yeah. Moving on to the DC book, we got Rorschach #8, written by Tom King, art and cover art by George Fornes, colors by Dave Stewart, letter by Clayton Coles, designed by Duran Robinson. The price of the book is $4.99, and of course, before I go to the description, it is a Black Label book, so it's not for your kids. So if it says DC Black Label, not for your kids. Trust me, this book is definitely not for your kids. And of course, this is the description of the book. As the detective digs deeper into the mystery behind Rorschach and his sidekick, the story becomes about not what they wanted to do, but why they started on their murder's path. As more witnesses emerge, the stranger Laura's history is revealed. Tough times made her want to kill a presidential candidate, and she did a lot of damage herself when fighting back. Rorschach. Okay, it's not about Rorschach. It's about the idea of taking up the mantle of Rorschach and how it's not good. Yeah. If you read the original Watchmen, Rorschach is really not a hero. He is, pardon my French, a dick. So, yeah. It's just an interesting way of how to take a character, but like not make it, Korvac, because he died at the end of Watchmen. But it's an interesting spin. It is 12 issues, by the way, for Tom King, for Rorschach. If you want to read it, pick it up on trade. It'll make a lot more sense than reading issue by issue because I'm having trouble keeping up. I like the book, but it's just real hard to keep up. We're going to move on to the next book. We got another book by Aftershock Comics. We got Scouts Honor #5, written by David Pipoza, art by Luca Casalanguida, and cover art by Andy Clark. The price of the book is $3.99, and of course, this is a description of the book. Determined to bring the truth behind Dr. Jefferson Hancock's death to her people, Kit will be forced into the fight of her life against the forces of Scoutmaster Shepard. But with the future of the Colorado Badlands at stake, can even a Scout's honor be enough to win the day? I hope this is not the end of the book. Scout's honor. It's what if the Scouts of America was the only thing left defending in the world of wasteland, and they're really trained as badasses. And we get revealed in the first issue that our character is not who may seem. I'll say that much. It's a really cool book. I hope you can find it on your comic book shop. So I highly recommend issue 1 before issue 5. Next up, we got another Boom Studios book. We got Seven Secrets #8, written by Tom Taylor, art and cover art by Danielle De Nuccolio. The price of the book is $3.99. Of course, this is a description of the book. The Order has managed to find their way through the land of Fieri, but danger awaits them on the other side. After experiencing such loss, can Castor continue to keep his vow as holder to protect the secrets before all else? So if you want to jump on the book, issue 7 is like a good jumping on point. It's just like you could read issue 7 like, oh, okay, I'm reading this, I'm like, I want to know the backstory. Boom, you can read the trade. Boom. Yeah. It's about protecting secrets and much, much more. There we go. 5 more books. Oh my god. It's a lot of books this week. It's a lot of books. We got a book by Marvel. We got not amazing. Not Amazing Spider-Man. We got Spider-Man Spider's Shadow #2, written and designed by Chip Zdarsky, art by Pasquale Ferry, colors by Matt Hollingsworth, letter by Joe Caramagna, designer by Carlos Lau, and cover art by Phil Noto. The price of the book is $3.99, and of course, this is a description of the book. What if Peter Parker became Venom? Spider-Man's vicious new approach to crime has every villain on high alert. No one is safe as Peter succumbs further to his new dark powers. Wilson Fisk wants to put an end to his deadly new Spidey once and for all. But who is really the one coordinating this takedown attempt? And with Peter haunted more by his past each day, will someone be able to save him from his own mind? I haven't read the first issue, and of course, we're at the halfway point. I believe there's only 4 issues. Yeah, it's 4 issues. It's written by Chip Zdarsky. That's all you need to know. He wrote a really cool run for Peter Parker, Spectacular Spider-Man, and he wrote Spider-Man Life Story. So this man understands Spider-Man. I have total faith in him. Issue 1, Spider phenomenal. I just haven't had time to read it. So issue 1 is jumping off point. Okay, we got a DC book. We got Superman #31, written by Sean Lewis and Phil Kennedy Johnson, art by Sammy Basri, and art by Scott Godlewski, and cover art by John Timms. The price of the book is $4.99, and of course, this is a description of the book. Thought to have been defeated long ago by Superman and his allies, the ancient shadow breed have returned in a horrifying new form, and Superman's oldest ally has been assimilated into their ranks. As John and besieged new Ramite leaders search for the key that will help them defeat the creatures, Superman returns to the site of his first historic victory over the shadow breed in an attempt to warn the Takramites of the incoming threat, but Superman's old allies kept terrible secrets from him, and both he and John are more vulnerable against the Shadow Breed than they know. And in this backup story, Jimmy Olsen's plan to build a backup squad to help out his pal Superman looks like it's already falling apart when two of its members, Loose Cannon and Gangbuster, would rather fight than be friends. Um, I'm enjoying what Phil Kennedy Johnson is doing. If you want to jump on issue 30, is your jumping on point? Apparently. Did I read issue 29? Yeah, I haven't read issue 29. April, yeah, okay, so I'm on the week of that. So yeah, I'm on like the second week of April, so I'm close to reading Superman, just not there yet. Issue 30 is like your jumping on point. I like what Phil Kennedy Johnson's doing. I just need to read a little bit more to see what he's gonna do. He didn't wow me, but he's setting up stuff that I feel like will come more true than what Bendis did. Because what I know about Bendis is just he'll set up stuff and then never really end it properly or just never bring it up. So to have a writer like hopefully bring something more to the table will be interesting. So yeah. We got another DC book. We got Wonder Woman #772, written by Jordie Bellaire, Becky Cloonan, and Michael Conrad. Art by Paulina Ganucea, and art and cover art by Travis Moore. The price of the book is $4.99. And of course, this is a description of the book. Wonder Woman may have outsmarted the beasts of Asgard for now, but nothing has prepared her for what's to come. Diana's darkest self has emerged as a new opponent, and she'll need help from an unexpected ally whose connection to thunder has inspired many a tale. Thor. Can this god and demigoddess duo find out what has disturbed the balance of things, or are they doomed to leave everything, including their lives, on the battlefield? Find out as this Norse narrative continues. And in this backup story taking place during the younger days of our hero, Diana must dive deep into the depths of Themyscira's ocean to learn more about the mysterious manuscripts left to her. Little does she know, what lies beneath has many teeth and is dying to meet her. Beware the mighty megalodons and their appetites. So I believe the jumping on point of this book was Wonder Woman 770. But if you want to know like a good jumping on point for like the DC world, it's Infinite Frontier and all the books that are coming out. So yes, there you go. Infinite Frontier number 0 or Wonder Woman number 770. So there we go. The final 2 books of the week are both X-Men related titles, and they're both Marvel, so one through the regular Marvel this or Aftershock. So we got Marvel Comics, we got X Corp number 1, written by Tini Howard. The head of X himself, of course, is Jonathan Hickman. Art by Alberto Foce, colors by Sonny Go, letter by Ariana Maher, designer by Tom Mueller, cover art by David Aja. The price of the book is $4.99, and of course, this is a description of the book. Krakoa is for closers. The deals have been made. Mankind is safe on Krakoa. As Reign of X continues, what are the wants of the mutants who have everything? Leading the charge of X Corporation, headed to X-CEOs Monet Croix and Warren Worthington, a duo as cutthroat and ruthless in the boardroom as they are on battlefield. But X-Corp needs more than just figureheads. As Monet sets out to staff their team with some of the brightest and most deviant minds in humankind, Warren finds himself in a tense confrontation with one of Krakoa's first allies who wants to know the truth on Angel's Wings. Will X-Corp crash or soar? It's a new book. It's a new book of X-Men. It's another deep dive of the X-Men world. I'm just excited. Uh, I feel like this is a misdirection with this because the way this up Krakoa is not as a business, but then again, I could be wrong, and I'll read it. I'll probably enjoy it. So, uh, if you're interested in it, there you go, new number 1. And our final book of the week is X Factor number 9, written by Leah Williams, and the head of X is Jonathan Hickman. Art by David Baldeón, colors by Israel Silva, letter by Joe Caramagna, designer by Tom Mueller, cover art by Ivan Shavrin. The price of the book is $3.99. And of course, this is the description of the book. Best concert ever. The Morgan needs to be destroyed. The answer lies in the Mojoverse. Looks like we're getting the band back together. So, man, I don't know when the story arc began, to be honest. I'm trying to find the jumping on point, and the jumping on point is issue 5. So, 5 issues later. And I believe they're gonna be doing other stuff. So this is the end of the story arc, and the next issue is the Hellfire Gala. Yeah. It's the final issue for the book. Okay, so you can read the trade. There you go. That's the end of the book. Not the end of the book. That's the end of the podcast. I hope you enjoyed. Thank you for listening. And please take care, everyone, in this weird world and weird time we're in. And of course, let me know in the comments down below what books you're excited for. And of course, everyone, take care and peace.